I am Terry Daly, and I'm one of the daughters of Pete and Esther. I'm number 5, as a matter of fact. And this is my brother Leonel, and he is a number 2 son. So we're going to try and see if he's got a little bit of memory problem. So we're going to try and see if we can both help each other to remember some things that we might have forgotten. So, one of the things, Leo, that I remember is when you were real happy and came into the house and so proud because you had just traded your bicycle for a horse. Remember that?
Barely. I think I do.
You think that you do, huh?
Well, yeah, I don't actually remember that I did it, but I guess the horse wasn't there.
Yes, you came in riding this horse, and the horse estaba más pando and más viejo than. But unfortunately, mother didn't, and dad, of course, didn't let him keep it, so he forced him to go back and return the horse because we didn't have a property or any place to keep the horse. So he was disappointed that he had to go and return the horse and bring his bicycle back.
How old were you?
How old?
Elementary school?
No,
Teenager.
yeah, I still hadn't started going to school.
No, you had started going
Oh,
to
I
school.
had.
Yeah, he was a teenager. He was already riding bicycles.
Yes.
So, another memory that we have, and I'm wondering if you remember that you and Sammy went out to the canal. We used to have a canal close by, and they were going to go fishing or catching crawdads, which is what they used to do a lot. And they had a neighbor, Bari was his name, and they went to the canal after a long time. But he comes home and tells mom and dad that he can't find the boys. So right away they thought that they had drowned. So mother got she fainted, because she thought her boys had drowned. And this went on for several hours. You remember that?
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I remember.
Another memory that I have is that you and I think and Caleb used to go out and catch little animals, and you would put them in crates. In the valley they used to pick tomatoes, and there used to be a lot of crates. So they would go and get some crates and go pick up lizards and whatever little animal they could catch, and put them in these crates with chicken wire, and then they would call their neighbors and charge them a nickel to come see their zoo, their animals. ¿Te acuerdas? You all made this crates with little animals, and the neighbors would come and pay you a nickel to come see the animals that you had caught.
Maybe
You
that
would
was
take
him, but I
I
wasn't.
wasn't.
No, I don't remember.
That was one of the memories that I remember from when we were all young. ¿Te acuerdas when you all used to play marbles?
At how? At
Yeah,
home?
outside.
Yeah.
You would play marbles, and they used to have a bunch of marbles. Especially you had a bunch of marbles. And they used to make their own little cards. ¿Te acuerdas que used
Oh yeah.
to make from their bicycle? They would get the tires, and again they would use the crates from the warehouses and make little like cards with one tire, and then some sticks, and then they would write each other down. That was a homemade toy, a homemade cart. ¿Cómo decían carreta or carretera or something like that?
Like a go-kart?
Like a go-kart. Well, yeah. But they were. I mean, they did a lot of things for themselves. A lot of toys. They
Toys.
did. Mm-hmm.
Who would steal them and then they
They would still do that.
well, yeah, we would find them and then we'd,
We built.
yeah, we would make all kinds of,
¿Y te acuerdas cuando jugaron el bote? Do you remember that game?
bote de
El
que,
bote. We would put a can, and it was like hide and seek. We would put a can, and we would hit that, kick that can, and while you went out and got the can and put it back, everybody else would run and hide. We used to call it, vamos a jugar al bote. Kick the can. ¿No te acuerdas?
vaguely, casi
Those were,
casi.
those were the games from our days.
Mm-hmm.
We made our own games. We used to catch the lightning bugs and put them in our clothes. That was fun.
But remember, mother would also, when we were doing that, at times or another, she would tell, "Vénganse para adentro," she'd tell us, come on in and quit doing that. You're going to get in trouble with the neighbors around, because we would, doing maybe with their dogs, and they would or whatever. So yeah, we had to
Misbehaving.
yeah.
And I tell you another thing he used to do. When we were growing up, Fina and I, of course, we had admirers, guys that liked us. So we would sit in the steps of our house when the guys would start riding their bicycles back and forth. They would ride their bicycles down the street just to see us, and we were just sitting there just to see them. We never talked to him or anything. And when he would find out that our so-called admirers, boys that we liked and they liked us, he would come outside and said, "Puercas mugrosas, váyanse para adentro. No estén aquí chifladas." ¿Te acuerdas?
Yeah.
Yeah, era muy celoso. He was very jealous. He was always telling us to get in.
Yeah, because you had the guys that they liked them, and so naturally they were, trying to I don't know, make them, hey,
And what would you say to them? The girls.
Oh, the girls, get back in the house, because we would tell the guys, you get the hell out of here,
Los corrían, a los muchachos
Yeah,
los
but-
corrían.
They were neighbors, and others would go be there, but they were farther away from our two neighbors that were next door to the house that we lived. But there was other guys that were farther away, and so we had to defend,
Defend.
chase
Defend our honor, huh?
yeah, and chase the guys away. get out of here. I mean,
You're my sister.
and you go inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were the days that were. We lived on 16th Street in Bacal. 906 or 908. We had two addresses, you know? 906/908. I think we had two, at one time we had two lots in Bacal. South 16th Street. Which, by the way, was a house, not necessarily the same dwelling because Daddy had rooms to it, but we were born there. There was there was about 7 of us born in, or even more. I don't know. I think all of us except Yoli. Yeah, all of us I think were born in that address. Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, Daddy and actually even Leo helped when he grew up to build. I think they added about 3 more rooms to the house. Yeah, they started with a little house. I think it was like 3 rooms, and the kids kept coming. They kept adding rooms.
And they're great to be a carpenter at that time.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. ¿Cómo? Some of them, yes, yes. I was, it was a midwife that Mom used with me and Nietzsche, and I don't know the ones before me, of course, but then there were doctors, and at that time they would come to the houses and deliver the babies out at the homes. So not necessarily just midwives, but also doctors. But they used to make house calls. Just like we had milkmen. The milkman used to come over and bring them milk to the houses. And ice. We used to have trucks that come by once, I don't remember whether it was once a week or whatever, and they would have blocks of ice. And they would bring, because we had not refrigerators, ice boxes. So, ¿te acuerdas? They would bring this ice, the truck would come by, and they had some big tongs and would pick up the blocks of ice and bring them in. You remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Mother used to cook lunch for us. We used to come home from school and have lunch and then go back to school. And I mean, by lunch, I mean she would cook a meal and make fresh tortillas. We would, she would do that. You remember when we used to come home for lunch, and I remember we would all fight over the tortillas because they were so fresh. They were just being made, and they were so good.
Yeah, but did you mention we didn't drink? I mean, Dad didn't teach us to get drunk or whatever.
Oh no, we had great parents, and we used to. The guys used to go. We had lemon trees. ¿Te acuerdas?
Oh yeah.
Orange trees,
Yeah.
and they would go pick up outside. They would go bring some mother would send them to get leaves from the lemon trees to make limonada. Everything was fresh. We had árboles de papaya. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
We had, right in the front yard, we had papaya trees, lemon trees,
Yeah.
and Mother used to make empanadas de frijoles. That was our meal many a times. She just had frijoles, but she used to make empanadas de frijoles.
Did you all
And-
have big trees there?
Yes, we had 2 big, huge fig trees in the backyard. And as a matter of fact, before we had those trees, Leonel y Samuel one time decided to dig a cave in the backyard. ¿Te acuerdas?
They,
They dug, se pusieron que iban a make a cave, you know. So they dug quite a bit. It was getting dangerous. So finally, their mom and dad put a stop to that. But it was, I think it was all three, Caleb and Sammy and Yonel and neighbors, of course. They dug they had like little rooms. Did a great, yeah, they had it all planned out and worked out. It was for their, I guess, for their clubs. ¿Qué hacían ahí?
escarbar ahí, I mean, you know, con las, well, I think Dad had ¿cómo se llama?
Pala?
Yeah, to dig, you know, the part of the, so that we could get the,
Had the big equipment.
It became dangerous, you know. So they made them fill it up, and then of course they planted the big fig trees. I mean, they got big, and they were good.
yeah, but the next door neighbors, I mean, when they see us, you know, digging out the
Okay.
yeah, and so they naturally they would come and hey, or, you know, or throw us rocks or whatever, and we would run and get away from there because we were digging in there.
Into yards.
Yeah, they got carried away with that dig, and they really got carried away. So, and as for me, I've been blessed to have had 2 children and 4 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. And they are,
Who are your children?
my first was my daughter, Cynthia, and she's now married to Tom Parker. She has 2 children, and their names is Robert Lopez, which he's married to Michelle, and they have 2 children, and that's Michael and Christy. And then I have a son named Richard, and he was married to a girl named Jeannie, and they had 2 children, which was Adam and Ashley. Richard Rigg, is now married to Sue, and they have no children. And Ashley and Adam at this time are not married. So I have a small family, but beautiful, beautiful. But I've been blessed to have just a wonderful family. I love my kids, all of them.